that happened. We got the green light and shipped off to the Philippines. This was Hurricane Haiyan was the name of
Yeah.
it. They called them typhoons in the Philippines. So
Yeah.
we called it Hurricane Haiyan. They called it Typhoon
Typhoon
Yolanda.
Haiyan. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they called it Yolanda, but it was just this super typhoon, this massive storm that wreaked havoc all across the Philippines and some other countries in Southeast Asia. But yeah, and so we shipped out from Hawaii to the Philippines on November 18th of
I remember that.
2013. And so yeah, it was this
You had
marking
your
moment for
20th
me.
birthday in the airplane going over the like the crossing the time. What's that called? The
Yeah,
time.
the international dateline.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was a really interesting marking experience for me. So I was 19 years old, turning 20, and we left Honolulu on my 20th birthday and flew over the international dateline. So my birthday got cut in half because we flew into the next
Yeah.
day, which is
Yeah.
really interesting. And so, yeah, I remember being on that plane ride just thinking, I've totally found what I want to do with my life. I've totally, I'm
Hmm.
just turning 20 years old and I'm on the right track, I guess, is what I
Yeah.
would describe that feeling as. And it was just this, not pride, but just satisfaction that I was
Hmm.
giving my life to something outside of myself, something bigger than me, and something that was going to genuinely be a help in the world and make positive change. And so, yeah, really cool experience just personally on that day. And then obviously getting there and just seeing some of the destruction. And it was crazy. I've never seen destruction like that still to this day. I bet you have in Nepal. But that's the closest I've been to a natural disaster like that. And so
Hmm.
yeah, going in and see. And so I'm I haven't said this directly, but we were together on that trip along with, was it 15 guys maybe?
Something like that. Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, we
Half of
spent a
them
couple
only
weeks.
stayed for a few days, remember? And then half of us
Oh
stayed
yeah,
on
that's
for a
right.
few weeks.
Yeah, so there were some married guys that came and they felt like they um, couldn't be away from their families for quite so long. Talking
Yeah.
about those responsibilities before. It's funny, I didn't. Yeah, I forgot about that. But so I went with a team of 15 or so, and then I think maybe it was 8 or 10 of us that stayed for the whole time, and yeah, I made amazing connections with people. This is another interesting story from that. I'm sure you remember, but they decided at one point. So we flew into the Philippines and took this ferry to another island where we were going to be helping out. We had this connection with the church there, and it was all kind of
Yeah.
loose and it wasn't fully. I remember I think we actually got off the ferry at the dock and we were like, we didn't know exactly how we were going to connect with the people, and it
Yeah.
was this. I'm thinking back about it. I was just more along for the ride. I wasn't in charge of planning anything, but I remember standing on
Exactly.
that dock at one
That's
point
not.
and
Yeah.
it started pouring rain, and I was just thinking, what happens if they don't show up to show us where we're gonna go and
Yeah.
everything? And so eventually they did. We had some time and like of tension and like what's gonna happen if they don't show
Small
up. But
sidetrack. Do you remember? I'm just remembering so much stuff about this that I haven't thought
yeah,
about since it happened.
yeah.
I do not remember, for example, I don't remember how I got on that trip. I don't remember like this time of us talking to like the leader and being like, "Hey, can we join you?" But like, how the heck did I go from one random dude in YWAM to one of the guys on this trip? I have no idea if I like approached somebody and said I wanted to go. Oh, maybe somebody approached me and asked me to film or something because I had all my gear at that point.
Oh,
Maybe that's what
oh,
happened. I
maybe
don't
that's what it
remember
was. Okay.
because I know I filmed a
Hmm.
bunch.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I remember that now. Yeah, you took
yeah,
some
so that's
epic
how
pictures too. Yeah.
so that's how I got on that trip. So, but do you remember that this is something I forgot until just now? Do you remember that when we got all those supplies into that church, that there was like there was some sort of a little riot outside and people were trying to like break in to steal the stuff?
Yeah, I do. That was
I
crazy.
totally forgot about that till
That
now.
was so crazy. Yeah, what I think, I don't know, it almost seemed surreal, like this moment of, okay, we just got here, it's pouring rain, it's almost felt like by chance at that point we got connected with this guy we're supposed to meet, and he showed us this church where we're gonna stay. So we were gonna sleep in the
We had
church.
like a boatload of like supplies bringing into this
Oh,
country
yeah.
that
Oh, it was
everybody
crazy.
needs.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. We had all these bags of rice and canned. Was this like we had sardines? I think was
Yeah.
the main other thing, and
Yeah.
yeah. So we finally get to where we're supposed to go. I don't even remember how, but the right transportation comes for all these supplies, and we get them back to the church, and we're unloading, taking the stuff inside, and everybody starts seeing what we're doing, and they're like,
We want that.
what are these what are these guys doing? Like, where are they taking this stuff? Why is it going inside the church? Why can't I just take that? And so people come, but I think we got it inside relatively quickly, but people had saw what happened, and so they
Mhm.
came, and there was I don't remember it very clearly, but I just remember people being kind of angry and being inside after everything was unloaded, and kind of I think it was like one of the volunteers from the church or something was saying like, hey, people are outside, they're not happy, I think it's gonna be okay, but we're not really sure.
That's the feeling I got. It was kind of like, I think things are gonna be okay, but they want to like break in here and steal all this stuff. It was something along those lines.
Well, we got there right at dark. It was dusk when we got off the ferry. And then as we were waiting, it got dark and started raining. And then when we got to the church, the roof was severely damaged. And so like half the church inside of the church, like
it was just
half
stars.
of it was just,
I remember that.
Yeah, it was the stars. And it was just pouring down rain inside the church too. So we're like, all right, cool. Let's find a place to sleep on this concrete floor and get up tomorrow and see what we can do to help.